Hi Stampers! Who can resist these darling donkeys dancing around? My name is Gloria and I'm a Stampin' Up! Demonstrator. Today we're using these donkeys to create a cool birthday card that's a Z Fun Fold variation. Isn't that darling? Grab some cardstock and craft along with me. You won't believe how easy it is to make this unique card. We're using 2 stamp sets. Darling Donkeys and Approaching Perfection. You can get them for free right now for each $50 order. It's celebration time, our favorite time of the year when everyone gets free stamps for each $50 or $100 order. This time I'm taking a 5.5 by 8.5 piece of cardstock, which is your standard card, and we're going to do that Z fold again. So here we folded it in half. Now we're going to take this front flap and fold it back to the fold. So it's going to look like this. Folding it back to the fold that you just made. We're using Sahara sand this time. I hold the edges and use my bone folder to go down and then straight up. So here's your Z-fold card that you recognize, only cut the other direction. Here are the dimensions of this card, by the way. And this is where we're headed with this fun Z-fold. All right, first thing you're going to do is make sure that we've done the Z-fold, completed. Now, we're going to just simply cut off 1¼ inches from the bottom, but make sure you hold on to both sides. So I'm just going to open the card and cut off 1¼ inches. Close it and give it a nice cut. By the way, let me show you guys a tip that I did on my this is the older style Stampin' Up! Cutter, but I love it. A lot of times I'll want to do a 4-inch cut in this direction, and it was always very hard for me to see the numbers, as you can see back here, that were on there. So I decided to cut a small, like a 1/4 inch strip of white cardstock, or excuse me, white printer paper, and just tape it underneath. So it makes it so much easier for me to see and read these numbers when I want to read in this dimension in addition to this dimension. So that's a fun little tip. So we're going to take the 2 pieces that are resulting, and let me show you how easy this fold is. We're going to take the bottom piece that you just cut off. There it is. You're going to just turn it over this way and then rotate it this way, and then we're going to be taping it. Here is your fun fold. Let me show you that again. So this was your base card. We cut off 1¼ inches from the bottom. You're going to take the bottom piece and just flip it over and then rotate it 180 degrees to create your card. All right, so now we're just going to do the decoration now that we have the base card done. We're going to start with our Whisper White piece, and we are using 2 more celebration sets that I love. Darling Donkeys, these are free for every $50 you spend, and also Approaching Perfection, which has some hilarious little birthday sayings. So we're going to use this little dancing donkey because I am a ballroom dancer and I miss dancing so much. So we're going to use our black Momento ink, tap, 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 and I'm going to put him down so that he's kind of doing a handstand almost. So take him, so he's kind of doing a little jig. Oh, you know what? Before I do that, hold on. I want to do the hee-haw saying at the bottom. So use our real red. So there's a hee-haw saying because we want to do a celebration. So hee-haw goes on the bottom first. Now we put our little donkey guy. Huff on it because he's been inked up for a little while. And we're going to have him kind of handstanding. 1, 2, 3. So cute. All right. We're also going to add some fun decorations. So part of the Darling Donkey set has these little confetti looking things. We're going to use a bright fun color with that. We're going to use Granny Apple Green. We're going to dance some here, just around the edge, maybe one here. So it's kind of like celebration confetti. All right. while we have our stamping out, we're going to color him in just a second, but since we're stamping, let's go ahead and stamp the background piece. Before we stamp it, you want to place it, because it's, I think this is a square actually now. Yes, it is. So any direction works fine. All right. So you want to stamp the saying from the Approaching Perfection set on the far right side. So there are some cute sayings. Newsflash, birthdays found to be good for your health. Studies show that people who have more birthdays live the longest. That's the one we're going to use. The other one, if things really do get better with age, then you're approaching perfection. I love that. And also, is the bad news is I forgot your birthday. The good news is I forgot your age. And then some nicer sayings. So what if you're older, you're fabulous, and generic happy birthdays. Wonderful, very versatile set. We're going to use the Newsflash stamp in real red. So tap, 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 and we are going to park that towards the right side. And you want it up a little bit because we have that strip going across. So maybe like an inch from the bottom. 1, 2, 3. All right, and then we're going to use our Granny Apple Green celebratory confetti there. So we're going to take our strips of Granny Apple Green, because I love how our colors coordinate between the inks and the colors. So we're going to first of all do that banner cut in, which you know very well. But guess what? If you're not great at doing banner cuts, you can also use our banner punch. So we're going to slip that piece using the channel here in the center. Slip that right in. Make sure it's snug to the end. And give it a punch. There's a quick, easy way to do the banners. These have graduated amounts. Summation. Isn't this handy? So one is 1 inch. The second one is 1.5 inches. And the biggest one on this one, 2 inch. So we've got our banner done. We want to stamp Happy Birthday from that same set. We're using Espresso for that. So tap, tap, tap. Now here's the important part. You want to stamp your Happy Birthday as close to the banner cut edge as possible. The banner will be pointing to your right. So I'm going to bring that close to me so I can see what I'm doing. There's our Happy Birthday. And then we're going to take the smaller pieces here. And we're going to take the candles from the donkey set and stamp some candles on here. I might put some scratch paper down here. We're going to do some candles. So I'm going to start in the center. And you notice I keep the lit part of the candles, the flame part, on there. So the other parts are just kind of down a little bit more. And they don't even have to be the same level. But we're just making a whole bunch of candles. And then I'm going to use the It's Your Birthday. We're going to do that in our Espresso again. This is a cute little saying. 1, 2, 3. And then we're going to take those little confetti again, one last time, in our Granny Apple Green for a tone-on-tone look. There we are. All right, we've gotten all our stamping done. And we're going to work on coloring Mr. Donkey. I love our stamping blends for that. The colors, now I've seen donkeys colored in smoky slate, soft suede. So today I'm going to use Crumbcake because I didn't want it to be super dark. I'm using 2 colors. So our Blendabilities, if you've never used them, they're alcohol-based markers. They're really fun and easy to use. I have the dark Crumbcake and the light Crumbcake. I like to start with the dark one first, and there's two different ends to it. One is the fine and the other's brush. I tend to work mainly with the fine. So I take that off, and what we're going to do is just kind of outline him a little bit with the dark. So I just kind of go around the edge. I'm not great coloring. If you get a chance to see some of my gals in my class and some of the guys coloring, they are so much better than I am. But the Blendabilities make it pretty easy to do. So I'm just kind of going around his belly, and I'll bring it closer to the camera in just a second. Oops. And maybe down his hooves. And the parts that are bigger, like his bottom and back, I might add a slightly thicker line. And then be more careful around his legs and hooves. Just kind of going up and around, just to add some color first. I'm going to give him a little color on his tail as well. And all the way to his head, I'm going to go up and around his nose, under his little chinny chin. And now for his ears, you notice there's like 2 lines, so I'm only going to do 1 line, the top one with the dark one. I'm going to add a little bit of line on his other ear, just kind of add something there. And I think I will go around his nose too, just very, very lightly, because we're going to add something different. All right, so there we have it. Next, I'm going to take the light one now, and using small circles, I'm going to bring the color in towards the center. But I'm not actually coloring the whole thing. I'm just pulling the darker color in towards the center and leaving parts of the center white to give it kind of a natural highlighting. So small circular motions, zipping around his flank. And as the alcohol dries, it helps to blend the colors together. If you see more of a harsh line, go over that part again with the light. And I'm just moving in towards the center, but you'll notice that I'm going to leave some parts a little bit lighter so we have a little highlighting towards his belly. Dark pink, and I'm going to still use that coloring, the fine line end, and I'm going to do his little ears here and here, and also the rest of his nose, a little bit there. So cute. All right, that's all we're going to do to color him in. I like to add a little bit of fun embellishment to it, so I'm going to grab my real red cardstock and my balloon punch, and I'm going to punch a little balloon to put our card together. We're going to begin back at the card base. We're going to tape the saying to the back panel first, to our Sahara sand panel. So you're going to center so that you have a little border around the 4 sides. And then we're going to tape that strip on. So since we put it down, we're going to start again. So there it is. This is how you folded it. We cut it off. So you're going to flip it over, rotate it 180 degrees, and that's how we're going to adhere it. So the tape goes on the very, very last flap. We don't tape the whole thing down, so do listen carefully to this part, because this is important, so that we don't tape the whole strip to our card. It goes on the very, very back flap. So let's work on that one first. So you're just going to line it up. All right, now we just want adhesive on this front flap. So to do that, I'm going to eyeball about how much an inch in is, an inch and a quarter. So I'm just going to put it like here, and a small piece this way. And then the most important part is right along the fold. So having a little extra adhesive on this card is not a bad thing, because it is a fun fold. And people will be opening and closing it because it's kind of a cool look. All right, so then go ahead and straighten your card. Remember, so only put adhesive on this very, very front flap, about 1 inch and a quarter up. I have a little extra tape coming out, so let me just fold it back. And take your time when you get to do this part. There we are, and there's your card. Happy birthday banner, and place the tips right along the edge. And then put our donkey guy on the very, very front panel. There should be a little border around the 4 edges. So cute. To finish off the donkey guy, we're going to take the balloon that you punched out and we're going to attach it with Stampin' Dimensionals to the top of the card. So take 2 or 3. And the balloon will be at the very, very top of the panel. So it's kind of like, let's see, I'm going to have mine tilting slightly to the right. We're going to take a black marker and draw the balloon string down towards his tail. So he's dancing a jig. And then my last little highlight is to take a chalk marker and just do a little smiley, half smiley face. It makes it look like there's light hitting the balloon. All right, open the card back up, and we're going to put our green, Granny Apple green panels on there. There you go, so stinking cute. What do you think? And when they receive the card, it stands up. Isn't that cute? Or here you go, you can see that it stands up. So a fun fold using a technique that you kind of already know, but a fun variation of the Z-fold. I can't wait to see the cards that you make using the donkeys or this fun fold. Comment below and let me know what your favorite set is from the mini or celebration catalogs. Please give a thumbs up if you like this cool technique. If you need any supplies, please shop on my website and use the Hostess code shown. I just received my latest celebration order and started playing with the Friends Are Like Seashells bundle that comes with this stamp set, matching dies, and a coordinating embossing folder. The cards have been beautiful and so easy to make. I'm so excited to share some ideas with you in our next class, so please be sure to hit that subscribe button so you can catch the newest techniques with me. Thanks so much for watching. See you then.